Hello, it's Friday, January 8th, and it's about 7 o'clock in the evening. There's not much time left for me. I'm about out of gas. What do you say, Norman? So what we're doing this evening is we're making the trim for around these windows. I already cut these. I bought 1x2s. There's 3 more 1x2s they have. Bless you. To cut 8 more pieces like this for the other side. But the boards I bought, they were at the bottom of the barrel. They're just too warped. I'm going to take them back and go to a different Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever. I don't want to fight. I mean, there's a little bit of warp in these, but I can live with it. Anyway, so the bottom ones were fairly straightforward because they're straight. They're about 4 or 5 different lengths. They're not exactly the same length, but that was not a big deal. I had planned on trimming these to where they would be close to the surface, but I like how they look sticking out this much. So we're going to be chamfering or rounding off this corner. We're going to be rounding off this corner and this corner to match this wood that we already have finished here. That's, I think, a 16th inch radius. I'm not sure. But the pain in the butt stuff is these, because these sections of wall are not straight. I'll show you what I mean. This is a fairly straight piece of wood. And see what we're dealing with here. So what I did, well, firstly, each of these is a slightly different length too. And I've got them all labeled: right, third window, A or B. A is the forward and the B is the behind. So this goes in this way with the ink towards the outside, so I don't have to deal with that. All right, so that matches. I mean, like super perfectly close. And my installation plan is that I'm going to pull this out about a 1/16 of an inch from the window, leave a little bit of gap there when I attach it. So that'll leave room for caulk to get up in there and make a nice fillet radius, and that the caulk will have something to bite into in that little gap back there. And it's just an easy way of making this edge match how I want it, without having to compensate for that overhang there. So we'll just leave it, stick it out. It gives me a little bit of room to play with. So I'm going to show you how I'm making these in just a minute. All right, so we're here in the shop on the table saw. This is 3B that I was showing you in the bus. So this corner here that mates up to the wall is it's just a slightly rounded by sanding. This edge on this corner is going to get rounded with that router bit, the 1/16 radius, which I don't know where that's sitting right now, but I must have put it away. So this is my method right here. I've got my table saw fence set to the widest piece of the wood. This is 3A, the adjacent piece to 3 Bravo. So I cut this straight at first. Well, let me back up. I had this installed and I marked it with a pencil. You could just see the remnants of my pencil line. Then I came in here and I cut this, just made a straight cut. Whoa. And that's what this piece is right here. It's just a perfectly straight cut, trimming off that area of the 1x2. Okay. Then I came in here with the blade up pretty high, about that high. And what I do is I take a finger and I place it here, so I'm feeling the edge of that wood right there and holding down. And so that gives me a temporary offset, the thickness of that little piece of meat that's hanging over the edge of my finger right there. And then I feed in and I kind of adjust as I need to. Because as you can see now, it's a little bit wider here. All right, and there, that's probably the widest. Then as I get a little closer to this side, it goes back in again. Okay, and I did the same thing. I was just holding my finger there, feeling the edge behind there with my finger, holding the wood from drifting back and using my eye on the line. And this is the cut right here. I haven't sanded it yet. You can see a couple little hot spots. There's a little bit of a bump right there that was rubbing on the side of the blade. And it's a little wibbly wobbly. I mean, right here you could see, all right, there's some bumps in it, close areas and not so close areas, but the line is showing, right? So now, what I'm going to do, there's no line showing right there, or just a hair of a line right on that little spot right there. So now I use the belt sander, and this is once again another job that this belt sander is absolutely perfect for. This is a Bosch, what is the model number of this thing? That's more like a serial number there, model 935 maybe. Oh, here we go. It's a model 3270, 3" by 21. I like the 21" belt sanders. They're a little bit smaller than the 24s. But the most fabulous thing about this belt sander, and Ryobi makes something that looks just like this. I don't know if it's the same exact quality and everything. It's got a flat top. It's made to be set on its top, like this. And you can hit the button and put the lock on and let it run, sitting that way. And I put it in this fashion where the handle is up against the table saw fence or something, so it won't try to run away on me. And you can sand parts on this all day long. It's absolutely wonderful. One thing I did do to this is this was not a variable speed model, but I found out all I had to do was replace the switch. So I bought a switch for, I forget how much, about 10 years ago. And it's the variable speed switch. So nothing special. But anyway, so what we did with that is we had that thing running, and we just continually feed this on the belt sander until we get all the wiggly wogglies out of there. And we're done. And it goes pretty quick. All right, so that took me less than 3 minutes. Let's go see how it looks. R3 Alpha. Like that. All right. I'll take a little bit more right there. From here down. I could see the pencil line, yeah. I need more attention right in that one spot. All right, so that's about as perfect as that's gonna get. I mean, we're like right there. Maybe a little bit on that little thing right there. But that's gonna be, like I said, spaced out just about a 1/16 of an inch maybe for aesthetics. Right? And with that corner rounded off a little bit, it's gonna look like $1,000,000. So The way we're marking it, let me see. This is window 2. Let me see if I can find 2 Bravo. Here we go. The way we're marking it is we're putting the 1x2 in there. All right, well, you see this one? We're touching up at the top, and we've got more than a 1/16 of an inch in the middle. All right, so what I've been doing on the very first one, it was like this. I am fitting this side to take some of that out of there. So when I back this out, that 1/16, I don't end up with a way bigger gap in the middle. But all I do, once that's fitted, I come over here and just mark it with a pencil. And to keep from getting pencil lead marks on my paint job here, I'm using this mechanical pencil that only allows the metal to touch along that edge.